quite a few here. I'm actually on the wrong one. There we go. We're actually got rid of just these. Can't see fucking everything, so we're gonna get rid of those. I am going to pull up my shit on my phone to make sure that everything is running correctly. Shouldn't be a problem with that. And then we will start with Iron Man. Received error. Well, okay. I already said there wouldn't be an issue, so that's fine. I actually watched Iron Man rather recently. When's the last time you watched it? Like theaters or like?
I mean, it's Kirsten's favorite hero, so I think we rewatched it when we still lived in the apartment. So it's probably within the last 2 years. We watched like all three of them.
I
But
I,
obviously,
I personally kind of think that Tony is actually better in the Avengers movies than he is in his own movies.
hmm,
I think I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, obviously, but Tony Stark and Iron Man. It's weird because Tony Stark is by far the best character, most interesting, yada yada yada.
hmm
But he's kind of the lamest superhero.
you just bought it.
Right, or created it. I don't know. Like, can you think of a more lame superhero? Like, other than like Gambit, who is like a frog.
I mean, like I think the Green Lanterns are pretty lame.
At least it has like some interesting lore. Iron Man's just like, I'm rich and I'm gonna do whatever I want. But like, what makes his superhero really lame is what makes him really cool, right? Like
hmm
he's the only one that was like a total shitter to begin with, and then I think that I don't know.
The first Iron Man movie is the best. The second one
I was
with
gonna
what
say
Mickey Rourke was meh.
the first or second one. It's weird because the second one has kind of like the bad guys don't really feel all that hands on. Like because
hmm
it's Eldritch Killian, played by Guy Pearce, who's really just like the money guy, and then you got Mickey Rourke, who's also like in prison for an extended period of time. So
hmm
no, I thought the second one probably was close to the first one, but I think the third one is very distinctly the worst.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like I hesitate to put Iron Man into amazing, and maybe that's just like the ranking, just the tiers names that is fooling me here.
It, I mean, it kickstarted the entire Marvel thing that we see now.
I would disagree. I would
So,
say that was the Avengers that. Um,
but I mean, Iron Man was the first Marvel movie that like
oh well,
worked,
you're
wasn't it?
saying MCU because Spider Man was
hmm
before it, and Spider Man it was
Great.
broke box office records, but it's not an MCU movie. Now you could
hmm
argue that it Spider Man started the craze, but in terms of what movie like blew the whole genre up, I would say that it was the Avengers, and I would attribute that a lot to Joss Whedon, who is an asshole in real life and likes to
hmm
mistreat women, and I guess he tried to touch Michelle Trachtenberg inappropriately, which is not okay on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But like the pithy humor and stuff, and like the kind of dorky humor and the high action combination, I think he kind of molded the whole genre. It's kind of getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because I think that the Avengers is on here. It is, but I think Iron Man is good. Um,
I'm okay with putting it in good, but I think it deserves to be one tier higher.
I think it does if that word wasn't amazing. The word amazing gets to me because I think that's kind of high praise. Like almost perfect makes sense because like wow, this would be really good, but there's this one thing, you know. And then amazing, I don't know. Like I watch it, I think that was good. I don't go like man, I really want to watch this again and again and again. However, a lot of people do. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll bump into amazing. District 9. I'll let you kind of lead off with what you're thinking. Fucking pro.
Well, I mean, he literally made this movie after they scrapped Halo. Like his project was supposed to be Halo, I believe.
I didn't know that. This
And
is new
then,
information.
yeah, and then this took over. And I mean, like, it's good for what it is. I enjoyed watching it, but like, I don't know.
I think it probably belongs in amazing category for me. Because it was kind of like the scope of what they were able to do with kind of like a under like utilized like I didn't know anything about this fucking movie when it came out, right? It was just like okay, I'll go see it. But like the production, CGI, story's fine.
When it came out, I think it was like what, like 2009, maybe even before that.
I don't know. It's kind of it was a surprise. I feel like also kind of like Taken, right? Like I had never even heard of the movie. My dad's like, "Hey, I got this bootleg copy, and if this movie's fucking great, you want to watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And, like, but the only problem with Taken is there's literally no story. It's just let's shoot everybody. But I think
It is 2009.
good to amazing is fair. It's definitely not don't care. I think I take some exception with these with the names on here. Like hated it, but it's good. Good's fine with me.
Yep.
I don't know how much of an impact it had outside of just like it was a good movie. Like Iron Man,
They're
obviously.
making another one, right? I think they're making District 10.
I don't know about that. Or is fucking
I'm pretty sure that's in the works.
is that South African guy gonna be a fucking prawn or because he was a prawn at the end of it?
Is a feature film. Yep.
Is a feature
it's
film.
happening.
So it got made already.
Has revealed that work is now underway on the District 10 screenplay
Okay.
from Mr. Blomkamp. So it's coming.
I'm just happy Chappie is in here.
It's just literally was a fucking 2-hour giant word or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
like
giant
music,
word.
like a music video. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking the worst shit I've ever seen.
I don't know what that shit is or how you say it, but they're terrible. Okay, good is fine. I'm moving on to Almost Famous. I'm the only one who has seen this movie. I had been recommended this movie on several occasions. The person who cuts my hair said it's one of her favorite movies. I'm a music junkie myself, and probably the next thing coming for us, Colin and I, is probably a music ranking. The kind of tough thing is finding, like, if you do like a classic rock one, they throw in some that I really don't listen to, like Judas Priest and stuff. You can't really give an appropriate ranking for that. And the problem with music is like Judas Priest, they all kind of exist like bands like that kind of exist in a vacuum, and they all kind of feed off each other and are part of a genre, an era, and stuff like that. So it's like with movies, you could just be like, okay, you can throw this to the side. It's not like we're doing all French New Wave or something. Anyway, I'm getting way out of the fucking realm here, but it's about music, and actually, it's I think kind of a true story about Cameron Crowe. He was like 16. Living in, I don't know if it was LA or whatever, but he was writing for his like a school music section or just a small town thing, and he like ran into some groupies for a band, and he ended up touring with them, and he started writing for Rolling Stone. It's kind of an amazing story, and it's true. Cameron Crowe went on tour with a band and was hanging out with groupies and stuff, and had this whole amazing experience, and ended up working for Rolling Stone. The problem is just like it's kind of it's about the rise and fall of this little band that had like one or two hits in the 70s that nobody would even remember the band at this point. He also falls in love with Kate Hudson, who's way older than him, and wants to have sex with her and stuff, but he's 15 or whatever, so not even going to happen. But I just don't... I don't know. As a person who loves music, I should love this movie, and it just kind of... It was kind of like you know, um, you throw a rock into water and you watch it fade away and then you never see it again. Like, or like a meteor, you just see it flash by and then it's gone. I never really wanted to watch it again, but it's not bad. It's just, it's okay. And then Cameron Crowe also did that television show on Showtime, Roadies, which I actually liked, and that got canceled like immediately. So I don't know. Cameron Crowe, you're a mixed bag for me. Anyway, it's good. It's fine. I don't think it's anywhere near the top, and I think if you're saying it is near the top, then you're just being a little bit over the top. Ooh, you want to talk about Up? I talked a lot just now, so it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that the start of this movie is like one of the saddest starts to like any Disney or cartoon movie in a long time. But I think that the start and just the sadness kind of takes, like, a lot of people take it as like part of what makes it great, and I really think that the story outside
Of the
of the
beginning.
beginning and
Yeah.
how and everything starts, like, it's just mediocre at best. Like, I feel like Disney and Pixar and them like haven't made a really good movie
Since Finding Nemo.
and since yeah, it's been a hot minute. Like the newest one Disney made, like Raya or whatever, was just like the worst Disney movie I think I've ever seen. Like they just didn't care. Story was terrible.
So I don't know. I don't think it's Pixar, but Inside Out is considered like a masterpiece.
Great.
Also, Big Hero
Yeah.
6. But
Big Hero 6 was good. I did like Big Hero
Never
6,
saw
but
it,
I
but-
haven't seen Inside Out.
I would probably agree. I think that the old grumpy old man, it plays well. But you're like they have that like they're on that island or whatever. It's been a long fucking time. I don't watch fucking kids movies, but yeah, like I would agree that it's just like it's sad, and then it just kind of goes nowhere. I mean, but at least the sadness kind of plays better. I forget which one it is. Like, Paranorman or Monster House. They're like the same fucking movie. I don't remember, but I think it's Monster House, where the like Steve Buscemi tries to keep people away from the house, and it's because his wife died in the house and she's taking over the house. Like that's kind of like a grumpy old man that doesn't play as well. It's just kind of like weird. But when this makes a grumpy man, and you know, he starts out grumpy, then he loves the kid. It's okay, you know, it's fine. It's just that with such a strong beginning, you think they could really nail it home, but I just don't think they really had anywhere to go.
I agree.
But
I don't know.
It's a nice movie.
You think it goes in good?
I have it in amazing right now. I think that probably fits the story. Meh.
I mean, I know I didn't say much about District 9, but I think District 9 does more for me than Up does.
I think it does. I would rather watch Up than Almost Famous. I don't know if I'd rather watch Up than District 9. Are you okay with them being on the same tier?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you want to put District 9 up to amazing?
I put Up down to good. I kind of seemed more logical, but then I don't know why they're with Almost Famous then.
Yeah. So are we bumping stuff down, or are we just leaving all four in good right now?
Okay, I bumped him back up to amazing. That makes more sense for me, I think. Wonder Woman. I think I probably need to rewatch it, but I think it's probably not 84. I will never watch 84 ever again. It would go in the hated it. If there was something below hate it that wasn't like not seen, if it was like the boiler room, the basement where people get fucking raped and they can't hear your screams, that's where I'd put it. But Wonder Woman, I think, is extremely overrated. And part of the reason that it's probably heralded is for what it's doing for a narrative for female, like strong female leads and stuff like that, which is good. It certainly does it a whole lot better than Captain Marvel. That movie's a giant piece of shit.
It was bad.
Like not even remotely. And the fact that they try to make Captain Marvel like as strong as other Marvel characters that are clearly should be stronger. And then they kind of were like, oh, we can't pay Brie Larson to be in this movie, so she'll be in the fucking Endgame for like 13 seconds. It's just a whole mess. But I think that it could be enjoyable to watch if I watch it again, maybe. But
I think part of what ruined it was, I believe we watched that with my brother and he was vaping the entire time. So
she's going down in a don't care. Um, no. Yeah, that was part of the issue. I think I need to watch again, but I haven't been good. I have no interest to see it. I'll watch it again. I thought that whole scene where she walked in with the sword on her back and she's just like walking past people and they don't see the sword was a little bit weird. Um, she's a beautiful woman though. My God, she probably had to do all
I do
kinds
love
of
Gal.
shit. She had to probably do all
Yeah.
sorts of shit to get in shape for that movie and everything. And
You know, people were pissed off that she was in the movie because she didn't have huge breasts like the character does in like the comics and stuff. I think she actually does a good job with the character, but it's just not the most interesting of
I don't know.
um,
She's a fine
kind of
Wonder Woman for
backstories.
me. I just wish that somebody else would have written the 1984 because that one is just a fucking
Yeah,
it's just off the rails, just stupid, and there's no reason to even talk about it because well, that's not what we're reviewing. But this movie's fine. Some people would probably even have it like masterpiece level. I just think that's so over the top. I do think
yeah, no, it's not going
this
there.
kind of new like DC extended universe or whatever they're trying to do. It's probably the best movie they've made because Suicide Squad ain't it.
Did
Batman: Dawn of
you
Justice, Justice League, all
did
those are
you
just
actually watch Zack Snyder's Justice League
there's no reason
remake?
to. There's no reason to.
It was actually way better.
Ah,
Like
I'm out on that.
I know how bad the
I
original
don't
was. Like
like. I have
it
all
was
kinds of time on my hands, and I still don't have 4 hours to watch that movie. So,
I all I'm saying is it was like worlds better than the original.
well, the original
Absolutely
was like
the worst
steaming
thing you've ever
pile.
seen.
It's a steaming
Yeah,
pile.
it was
I
bad.
call it. I call it. It's just like, well, we can't do it. I guess we better just use the Konami code and get Superman so we can do it. Like Superman was just like why did we have half this movie? Why do you even need the Justice League? All you need is Superman. And then, of
Hmm.
course, Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice or whatever that movie is. Holy shit! I watched it one time and was like, "Oh, this pillow looks really comfortable. I'm going to go to sleep."
Hmm.
Do we have multiple Batman movies? One, two. Is the Dark Knight Rises on here? I don't think it is. It's really weird that they were like, "Let's do Batman Begins and the Dark Knight Rises."
Hmm.
Um, I would say Batman is probably in the amazing category. Batman Begins. We may as
I
well
agree.
um, put talk about the Dark Knight at the same time, which I think is probably a tier above that. I definitely wouldn't put it
I
in
would agree
masterpiece.
because of
And
Heath Ledger.
um, I think one of the things. So Christopher Nolan from the beginning, I actually read some scholarship on this, which is where I had a comic book class in graduate school, but he was really going for like a hyper realism, which is kind of like a reaction to post 9/11 cinema, right? It's just like if you look at like the Batman movies from the 80s, it's just like really campy and goofy and shit. And
Hmm.
these movies are just like even the Batmobile is like super realistic. Even I guess the 90s Batman movies are really fucking campy too. But everything feels like this man could be running through the streets over cars and shit.
Hmm.
Dark Knight is the best one by far. I've
I
seen
would
it
agree.
way too many times. When I was in like eighth grade, I saw the movie like 10 times in theaters. It was just fucking way too much. I mean, in Franklin, all you could do with your friends when you didn't have a fucking license or anything was just go to a movie. So I saw the third Pirates of the Caribbean 30 times too. 3 goddamn hours. A piece of shit I gotta
Yeah.
see 30 times. But
Hmm.
Batman Begins is a really good start. I can't remember every detail. Liam Neeson was the bad guy. He was Raj Al Ghul. And I think that because the second one is so good, the first one's kind of forgotten about. And I do
I
find
really
it
liked it.
weird though that they're like, okay, maybe it was because of Tom Cruise because he had what's her name from Dawson's Creek in there, and they're like, okay, well we're gonna just pivot to Maggie Gyllenhaal in the second one. I thought that was kind of weird.
Hmm.
And I give the whole series an extra point for what's her name getting into that skin tight Catwoman outfit. She also probably had to do it. And this is not like knocking her to say that she wasn't in good shape before, but like, um, um, definitely had to do some work to get in that suit. If it makes you feel any better, Tyler, my balls are sticking out the bottom of my shorts. You just can't see it. But you should stay to the end of the week. There's going to be a hot tub stream. Oh, Grand Budapest Hotel. Oh my. I'm going to put this in don't care. And this is going to piss movie people off because for some reason everybody loves Wes Anderson. But it's just like the before sunset, before midnight. I just realized, Kyle, did I let you say your piece on Batman? Did you have any more to say on that? I got carried away.
Not really, but I mean, wasn't Cillian Murphy Scarecrow in that too, or whatever his name is?
Killian, yes.
Cillian Murphy. Yeah, I like that. I like him a lot, but he didn't do too much in the movie. I feel like his piece was kind of shortened.
It's weird because he's even in the second one.
Is he?
Yeah. So, he might be in the third one too. So if you remember,
Yeah.
the
watch this.
like Gotham City falls into ruin, and they make those cops walk across ice. He's the judge that's like sentencing them, and then also at some point Batman leaves, and these guys are trying to do like vigilante justice. They're dressing up like Batman and shit, and Cillian Murphy is as the Scarecrow trying to make like a drug deal or something, and they're trying to stop him, but Batman comes in and stops them all, breaks all their necks, and then says, "Now talk," and all that kind of stuff. He's in at least one more installment. It would make sense that he's in the third one though, because Batman would have left because he's getting old and doesn't want to do it anymore, and Harvey didn't die and all that bullshit. Okay. Do you want to say anything else on that? I just got on a roll and really just was.
I think we're good.
Okay. Because I know that Grand Budapest Hotel you haven't seen, so.
I have not.
So, rolling back to that, Wes Anderson is heralded for his movies like The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Island of Dogs, Isle of Dogs, whatever the fuck it's called, and his magnum opus, also Royal Tenenbaums, but his magnum opus Rushmore, which also I think is kind of just a meh movie. Basically, it's just a bunch of kind of like weird, jokey delivery, kind of goofy tongue-in-cheek jokes, weird, like set decisions that are kind of cheap, but I think people think he's cute, like the way he shoots things is cute and stuff, and like even this picture, this is like what they show the Grand Budapest Hotel, and it's like a fucking, just like a weird set piece. I don't know, I just don't buy into it, and I mean he's highly loved by fucking everybody. So I think it's more of a thing is if you like it or you don't, and it's very highly, like every one of his movies has over a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would say that his best movie to me is Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think it's funny, even though it's weird and animated and shit. But I think it's a Roald Dahl book. But he just doesn't do it for me. So, Interstellar.
Let me start.
Do it.
Let me start with this because I know you do not like this film that much.
I really don't at all.
Really don't. And I fucking love this movie. I actually love this movie. But I mean, like, I'm a sci-fi guy-ish to begin with, even though this is, I don't know if you could even really, this isn't really sci-fi-ish, I don't think.
So, go on, and I'll pick up and talk about my beef.
Okay. I mean, like, everything about it is just, like, it's, like, the fact that it could, like, kind of be possible, I guess it's, like, more realistic space travel stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and the ending, when I first watched it, I believe, like, I asked you, I was like, what the fuck just even happened? I was like, what? But then, like, I watched it again, and, like, I read up on it online, and, like, it helps you put two and two together, and, like, once you actually, like, fully understand it, that shit blew my mind. And I absolutely loved that movie's ending. Did it need to be 3 hours long or whatever it was? Probably not. And I think that's part of the reason why you might not like it as much. I think like if it was shorter, it could have been a little better for you. But I like Matthew McConaughey. And just like the whole fucking fourth dimension shit was cool as shit.
So here's my take on it, which in some ways is the exact opposite of yours. First of all, I'll talk about my experience seeing the movie. I was at work until like 11:30, and then I got out of work. I ran to a midnight showing, and was there until 3:30 in the morning. Something like, it was really
Hmm.
fucking late. Then I went to Walmart because my parents needed toilet paper, and I was in line with one register open, and a woman was using coupons at 3:30 in the morning. So I was
Hmm.
irritated because I really did not like the movie, and then I became even more irritated because this bitch just couldn't. She was like buying CDs and stuff too. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? It's 3:30 in the fucking morning. Do you need your fucking stupid ass CD?" Anyway, I think the movie works really well when it's sci-fi. It does not work really well when it's fantasy, and I don't know if Christopher Nolan knows the difference. Christopher Nolan has written some of the best stuff, and if you like this, we should definitely watch Memento. Um,
It's on my list. I really need to
because
watch that.
it Memento I think does everything right, but the problem is it's wholly and completely invested in its gimmick, and the gimmick is really good, but the story is just meh. But the movie overall becomes good because it's something no one's really ever done before. But going back to Interstellar, the whole I thought the movie was great in terms of visuals, scientific, kind of like roadblocks, time, how time works on different planets. All this stuff's really cool. And then we get with the fucking bookcase bullshit. We're just
It's the
dumb.
fourth dimension shit. I thought that shit was
It's
cool.
it's it's fantasy. It's not reality. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's stupid. And Christopher Nolan's over here like, wow, look. I don't know if his brother helped write that with him too. His brother is a collaborator frequently. I think he actually wrote Memento, but maybe Christopher Nolan did. I don't know. I always get it confused. I always give his brother a lot of props and don't give Christopher enough. But I just thought that this movie was pretty good when it stuck to its guns of science, and pretty fucking stupid when it went to fantasy. Another situation where I did not buy in to the fantasy element, or buy into the what they want you to believe. And when you don't buy in, it's just going to ruin the movie for you. I mean, it doesn't. Wherever you want to put it is fine. I think it's an achievement of cinematic, like aims. You know, like the
Now,
planets look
this
super
came
cool, but
this came out at like pretty close to the same time as Gravity, right?
I think Gravity's better.
I think they came out very close together, and Gravity was a piece of shit.
I think Gravity's better.
I would disagree 100 times over. It came out, I'm
Sandra
pretty
Bullock
sure,
is
like
like 100 times the actress that Matthew McConaughey is. Sorry, he's got a Best Actor award. I think she does too, actually. Best Actress.
yeah, they came out like a year or less apart. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Sandra Bullock. I don't like George Clooney as much, just because I feel like he looks like an asshole.
I think
But
I think it was directed by Alfonso Cuarón, and I think he probably did a better job directing too. I always get them confused. There's another. I think Alfonso Cuarón also did Roma. Unless I'm getting him confused with the guy who did Birdman. They're both South American, Central American directors. I always forget, but
all I know is for me, I would put it in amazing, but
that's fine.
based on what you think, we can put it in good.
I put it in amazing, although I wouldn't want to watch it more than Batman Begins, but we'll agree to disagree on that one. Although we do have one coming up that kind of just disproved, I think, some of our things we are saying. Do you have anything else to say on Interstellar? I'm giving you amazing. I can see where
Mm-mm.
I think it's more than I just don't like it. I mean, I can't just say that I don't like it and have it be the end of it. So, Wally, which this is a Pixar home run, I think.
Yeah, I fucking love this movie.
Um, got a lot of cuteness going on. I put it in almost perfect because I don't think it's like a masterpiece.
I'm fine with that.
Like, I think Finding Nemo is the best Pixar movie, unless you count like Toy
I
Story 1.
absolutely love Monsters Inc. The original Monsters Inc., dude.
I never saw Monsters University, but
Yeah, it was meh.
I don't. Monsters Inc.'s okay. I'm not as mad about it as you are, but I think it's basically it's just really cute, and
Again, this
there's
is
fat
like
people on like scooters flying scooter foot motherfucking things.
this is the trend. This is the trend that the world's on right now, though. Gonna be living on those space scooters, dude.
Do I get to fuck the robot?
Uh, sure.
All right, awesome. It stays in almost perfect. Ooh, I Fucking Sweeney Todd. Dude, I fucking low key fuck with this movie. I fuck with this movie. It's not even low key. I fuck with this movie hard. Have you ever seen Sweeney Todd?
Yeah, you made me watch it. I know you're in love with it. I'm just like, I've never been into like musical-ish type movies, so
Dude,
I'll let you handle it because I'm not gonna have much of an input.
the fucking modern musical is it, bro. It is fucking it. And I don't know, Johnny Depp, who has been exonerated of being a creepy dude. Congratulations. In fact, you just marry women who take a shit in your bed. But
And then get blacklisted for it, so
she was cheating on him with like Elon Musk, and there's another guy too. She was cheating on him a lot.
yeah. Well, he's literally just like he can't win a court case. A court case. She's just winning everything somehow.
Um,
Well,
yeah, who knows? But I don't think I think the not going up into almost perfect is because I don't think the songs are that great, but the story is good, and it's like kind of interesting how they take a medium like stage play, which there's dramatic pieces and pieces that are dark, but like this man is chopping off dudes' heads with a straight edge, you know? And then they're putting the people's body parts into pies and selling them to humans. And then he kills his own wife. This shit is dark, man. This is another level of fucked up from Broadway shit. And I don't know who wrote this shit, but bravo. It's one of those ones that you'd be like, I'm gonna watch it. And you're like, oh damn. I think it was a surprise for me when I liked it. So I would, of the ones in this category, I probably want to watch this one again the most. So we'll go there.
where'd you put it?
Amazing.
Okay.
Drive. Okay.
Great.
You can start off because I've been talking.
I haven't seen it in a really hot minute. There's one scene that'll stick with you forever, just kind of like
Baby.
American History X, where motherfuckers are getting curb stomped. But holy shit. Yeah, they do. That fucking elevator scene was one of the most crazy, brutal things I've seen. Probably since dude from Game of Thrones getting his head squashed in by the mountain. Mr. Mandalorian.
Like, he also smashes that guy's head against the wall in one of the episodes in the later seasons.
Yeah, he does do that, but watching Mandalorian's head get squashed like that shit actually fucked with me. Like, I was just kind of sitting there just looking at him like, oh, that's not okay.
Your life is good, but it could be better. Your head could be squashed in pavement.
But I feel like Ryan Gosling is a super underrated actor. Like,
I think for a while, I think his acting was a little bit one-dimensional, but I would probably agree. I think he probably got into acting because he's just like, god tier attractive in like every possible way. Even when he was just like a side character in fucking Remember the Titans. But this movie, first of all, soundtrack, 80s like retro wave or dark wave or whatever you want to call it, fire. Story is great. This is probably the only movie Nicholas Refn Welding, or whatever the hell his name is, the director, has ever made that I thought was good. He made that Only God Forgives, which we watched together, which was a piece of shit. But he's really
we
into
watched
like,
that?
yeah, it's that one where Ryan Gosling's in Thailand and he owns the boxing ring and his brother dies. We watched it at your house like 10 years ago. That's when you guys were living in Chattanooga.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Ben was there. Anyway, it's a piece of shit. And but he does do a lot of cool things with like very neon colors and stuff. Ryan Gosling does a lot with saying very little, and Carey Mulligan is pretty delightful. Oscar Isaac is in it, and he's he blew up ever since then. I think he might be on this list twice for us to rank, right? Inside Llewyn Davis, and I thought that Ex Machina was in here too. It is. So, It's got a lot of good actors and actresses in it. Definitely really good. Music is banging. Story's good. Um, Kind of came out of nowhere too. So all this, it probably was one of the movies. I would argue too. The Place Beyond the Pines was another one where Ryan Gosling was in it that I felt like he was making more artful movies, more important movies, movies that were better for his career. Um,
I find it hard to believe that that movie came out in 2011. I just looked it up. What the hell?
10 years ago, yeah. So
That's pretty crazy.
only God Forgives is probably a little bit after that. Um, Gladiator. I gotta go check out something real quick. Take two, real quick.
Okay.
Alrighty, my apologies. Had to make sure Jake was taken care of. All right. Gladiator's just kind of a meme for me.
Are you not entertained, dude?
Do you think like this movie? I believe won Best Picture.
I mean, for some people, this would absolutely be a masterpiece.
Let's look at.
It's got an 8.5 on IMDb. But I mean, like, would you consider Russell Crowe to be that great of an actor?
Did you see that fucking piece of shit where he's we watched together where he's
Unhinged.
really fat? Sorry, Russell,
Yeah.
but you need to fucking get back in the gym or something. I know you're like 60 years old.
Unhinged. It was a bad movie.
It was not good. Best costume design. Where's Best Picture? All right, here we go. So 2000s. Two of his movies back to back won Best Picture. Back to back years. The Beautiful Mind being the second one.
Well,
Beautiful Mind beat out The Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Mm.
So let's look at Russell Crowe. Does he have a Best Actor award? Probably does, huh? When you go to personal life, immediately under is Al Qaeda threats. I don't know what that is, but it scares me.
Okay.
Best Actor, he did win for Gladiator.
Yeah.
Another problem for me is this movie is directed by Ridley Scott, who I think is not that great, but a lot of people would probably get angry about that. He either makes he's got some fucking bad movies on his resume. He's got some good movies on his resume, but let's look at that real quick.
Where did you put Drive, by the way? Amazing or good?
Amazing is where I had it.
Okay.
So I don't want awards. I want filmography. Okay, so Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator. He did Hannibal, Black Hawk Down, American Gangster, Prometheus, Exodus, Gods and Kings, The Martian, Alien Covenant. So like Robin Hood, he's got some fucking stinkers, man. Robin Hood.
The new Robin Hood?
No, the one with Russell fucking Crowe. Kingdom of Heaven. Hannibal was bad. It's the worst one of the trilogy, for sure. He's got some stinkers. Exodus, Gods and Kings, stinker. Alien Covenant, stinker.
Prometheus, I will never get that woman running straight for like a mile with that thing rolling straight at her. Like, just take a left or a right, dude. Larry,
Yeah,
just take a Larry.
I don't know. But Gladiator, I think we have to recognize it for achievement. I'm going to put it in... Oh, I put Drive in almost perfect. Was that too high? Is that good for me?
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. But Gladiator, I just feel like Joaquin Phoenix, huge movie for him. May
Mhm.
have won Best Supporting for that. Visuals are good. I just don't feel like, in terms of the movies that came after it, that it's all that impressive. It might have just been like scope. You know, just like it's this big, like Roman movie and the Colosseum. I just doesn't do anything for me. But I think to say that it's just good is probably underselling it. It's a Best Picture movie. It's just not for me in that capacity. It's fine. What do you think?
So, good or amazing? I mean, like, I'm fine with
I have it
either
an
of them.
amazing. I think it's better than Wonder Woman.
I would agree with that.
Um, I don't know. I don't think it's like some people would say masterpiece. I don't think it is though. Oh right, this is all you, bud. Under the Skin. Here's my analysis. She shows her butt in it, so that's pretty good.
This is legitimately one of the weirdest movies I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
You probably need to
And that's
watch more
saying a
movies.
lot. No, I'm saying this dead ass. Like, it
I
is
could show you
just,
weirder for sure.
how is this even a movie? Who got the green light to do this? Because, like, the only reason why this was even allowed to be a movie is because they got Scarlett Johansson. If there's anybody else that is the lead in this movie, I don't think it works.
Is
Like,
there even a narrative?
Johnny, this Scarlett Johansson is literally an alien who drives around at night and like finds men to like seduce, and then like while she's seducing them, like she takes them to like another world where they just turn into meat blobs. Like they literally just turn into like blobs of meat. Like I'm not, I don't know how else to put it. And then there's like some dude who I had to look up in real life because I was like, he's got to be wearing some sort of makeup, but he's not. Where he's got like some severe disformed, like some sort of shit going on, and like you just feel so unbelievably bad for this guy because like he's deformed as shit,
I just saw the
and
picture. He is
yeah,
indeed deformed.
and I'm like for a second I was like, is she actually just gonna like let him have a dream and get with him like and not send him to another dimension and turn into meat blob? Nope, she sure fucking isn't. Treats him equally, you know. I guess that's a good thing, maybe, but Johnny, she drives around, seduces people, sends them into another world where they just turn into meat.
Okay. um, uh, Here's the thing. So other actresses that were considered for the lead were Gemma Arterton. Um,
Ooh.
I think she's the one from Dastan with Sands of Time movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. What the fuck is the name of the
Is
character?
it Persia?
Yeah, I think she's Prince of Persia. Ava Green, who I would have liked to have seen in it because like Scarlett Johansson would have been like, "Yeah, I'll show my butt if that's okay," and Ava Green would have been like, "I will literally spread these pussy lips. You want to see in my butthole?" She is literally naked in fucking everything she's ever done. January Jones, I would have liked to see that because she's hot. Abby Cornish, and Olivia Wilde, I would have also been okay with that. Abby Cornish is the one that makes it out alive from Sucker Punch. Anyway, I put it in good. Is it good or is it don't care? I think that's a real question.
Johnny, I
Or hated
please
it.
put it and don't care.
Or hated it. I
I mean,
forget that it's hated.
I fucking just didn't even know what I was watching. And I watched this with Kirsten, and we were both just like jaws dropped. What the fuck is going on?
Don't care or hated it. You tell me. I forgot hated it was terrible.
Uh, uh, I mean, like looking down at this list and what we have left, I don't think there's a single thing that's going to go and hated it. So I think we need to just go ahead and throw one in there
All right.
because there's no plot, there's no story. It's just
Well, you just went ahead and like explained to me the story though, right?
is that a story?
So like, also note that the guy that's deformed, I think that his character name is actually the Deformed Man, which seems like it's
It
kind of
sure is.
not okay. But yeah. So like, does she like? Is it like she's like heartless and killing these guys, and then she see this deformed guy and she like changes? Because that's like the story, I
She
guess.
literally praying mantises their ass, dude. She fucking has sex with them but kills them. Like, it's just
Turns them into meat.
turns them into fucking meat. They just float around. They're just blobs.
Okay, we're gonna just leave it there because I don't think we need to belabor that point anymore. The Prestige. I think this is also of the ones we've done so far for sure. Maybe not. It's in with Gladiator and Budapest Hotel for me with super overrated. Like just
really like this
super
movie.
overrated. I feel like the payoff is just so fucking lame.
What, that they're just twins?
They're clones. It's not twins. They're clones.
What?
Yeah, they're clones. At the end of the movie, so they like, okay, he does this thing where he like gets electroshocked or ground up and stuff, and then Christian Bale goes behind like the thing, and he's just cloning himself. He's actually dying every single time he does a trick, but instead he just clones himself. So he's like, "Oh, it's me again, ha!"
I guess I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen that in a long time. I thought they just were he had like a twin or some shit.
No, he literally fucking kills himself every time he does a trick, and he just clones himself. Which it makes some sort of sense, but like every time you kill yourself, like there's a difference between a body and consciousness, right? Like that person that made that decision wouldn't still be like, it wouldn't be the same person. Like, just because your brain is the same and your body's the same doesn't mean that your emotions are the same and stuff. There's an abstraction to that. I don't know. I was not buying it. Once again, this is another situation where I don't buy it. I think it's probably one of Christopher Nolan's weakest films. That once again hinges on like a what's the word, like a gimmicky stupid thing. Like I would put also Tenet or whatever in the same thing. I like wasn't even interested in Tenet. I was like, okay, you fell asleep or whatever. So
Yeah, that was the week I couldn't stay awake.
well, every time I'm over at your house, you seem to not be able to stay awake, whether it be COVID or you're just tired or whatever. But I don't know. You tell me. You don't even remember the ending of the fucking movie. So
Apparently not, so I'm just gonna keep my fucking mouth shut. So
let's see what they say on IMDb's plot. Angier, I don't know what had discovered Borden's secret prior to the accident that created his duplicate. Okay, never mind. During one performance, he breaks into the backstage area and turns off the power to Angier's device, mistakenly believing the generator powering it is about to catch fire and turns the theater ablaze. The subsequent teleportation is incomplete, and both the duplicated Angier and the Prestige Angier survive as separate persons after the incident, with the original feels increasingly weak while the duplicate seems to lack physical substance. So like he makes a clone and they teleport? Yeah. I don't know, it's stupid.
all right, so we'll put it in good.
I put it in good. I've never
Okay.
I've never wanted to see it a second time. Okay, Hot Fuzz. Okay, let's bring up. I thought that the other movie they made was on here too. Is that not true?
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, there it is.
I've never seen Shaun of the Dead, honestly.
I would say these two are very close. I wanted to say Hot Fuzz is the best one. These are both definitely better than World's End.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them both into amazing. You've never seen Shaun of the Dead? They're both very funny. I think Hot Fuzz, I can't tell which one is funnier. They have their own merits. Shaun of the Dead is kind of their breakthrough. Hot Fuzz is also good, though. I don't know. They're just funny. Very British funny. You've seen Hot Fuzz, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I actually watched it on a plane one of the times I think I flew to Chicago somewhat recently.
What about Shaun? So you've never seen Shaun of the Dead?
I've never seen Shaun of the Dead.
It's funny. It's worth a watch. I don't think you really even have to say much about it. They're just good movies. They're funny. Not a whole lot of depth. They're just kind of silly, but Hot Fuzz kind of has a weird twist in it, I guess, that you may or may not be expecting. Shaun of the Dead's just kind of straightforward. You could probably make this movie with like $10, which is also, credit to them. La La Land. Okay.
That's all you.
Yeah, so another modern musical. I actually just watched this with Wayne. I forced him to watch it. I don't think he was as engaged as I was, but I saw it the first time. I think that there's something to be said about when you see a movie in certain states of your life. And I think this is kind of like the tell of a good movie. Like the first time I saw La La Land, I hated it. But when I saw it, I was kind of in a moment of a crisis of heart. Wasn't really like wanting to see romantic shit. I was kind of just like not happy. So I saw it a second time, and it gave me some insight. So the movie is about Ryan Gosling, who wants to open a jazz club, and Emma Stone, who wants to become an actress. And they're both essentially failing, and failing hard. But they meet each other and they fall in love, and they both have no money. So Ryan Gosling gives up his dream and joins a band to make them money while she writes her one-woman show play. Eventually, he's doing nothing but traveling, and she confronts him because she's chasing his dream, and he's basically selling out, even though she isn't paying for anything. As far as I know, she doesn't even have a fucking job. But she keeps on telling him to, he needs to open his jazz club and chase his dreams. And he's just like, well, bro, I need to fucking, make money. And due to circumstances out of his control, he can't get to her one-woman play. So she, runs out on him. But especially since her play went over terribly, 2 people came. Turns out one of the 2 people that came is a huge producer, wants to put her in a movie. And that movie takes her to Paris, where she becomes a superstar. But Ryan Gosling, essentially afterwards, they come together, and she's like, well, if I go to Paris and chase my dreams, then that means that I can't, be with you. And he says, you got to go because you need to chase your dreams. So the end of the movie, it's 5 years later. He opened a club. She becomes a huge actress. She's got a whole family and stuff. She goes to his club. They look at each other, and they have this moment where they see their entire lives, what it could have been. It's like 10 minutes long. And it plays out in front of their eyes, but it plays out as if it's like a bunch of movie sets. Really cool and interesting way they did that. Beautiful music, some great songs. But I think the theme, which I kind of didn't really even think about until I watched the CinemaSins, is that sometimes you have to give up the things you love when you want to chase your dreams, whether that be family, friends, whatever it may be. But it's beautifully shot. Emma Stone does a fucking kick-ass job. Her singing is great too. Ryan Gosling's is good too, and actually his dancing is great. But the movie is pretty knock out of the park. I did not like it when I first saw it, but like I said, it's kind of more like about where you're at in life when you see things sometimes, and the movie's really good. I don't think it's a masterpiece though. Not my favorite movie of all time, but very, very, very good. Yeah, so I don't have anything more to say about that. How about Apocalyptico? Or Apocalyptico?
Apocalypto.
I can never say it correctly. That's my bad. You take it. I just talked for a really long time.
I haven't seen this movie in a very, very long time. I don't remember a whole lot. I actually had to look it up because I was pretty sure it was directed by Mel Gibson.
Yep, it says right on the front here. Mel Gibson's Apocalyptico. Apocalypto. Fuck. It's fine.
Yeah. I just remember, obviously, it's like Mayans and shit, but I don't even remember. When did this come out? 2006? Yeah, it was fucking 12, and I think we rented it.
My dad took me to see it in the theaters.
I just remember seeing people getting murdered at the top of temples, like, nonstop, and heads getting kicked down the fucking stairs and shit, or rolled down the stairs.
Yeah, he had to, so they take them to get killed, so You know how the fucking Battle of the Bastards they had Rickon, I think, run another guy who just should have turned left.
Hmm.
And they shot arrows at him. They did the same thing with the guys that were captured, but like he gets away and they're like running after him, trying to kill him, but he's trying to kill or save his wife and child were in a hole, and the hole's filling with water, and they're about to drown. I would say it's good. One of the things that they got in huge trouble for is they were saying like fuck and stuff, and people are like, they didn't say fuck back then, but it's like everybody's had expletives in their language, whatever it may have been, you know, like I feel like it doesn't withstand the test of time like at all.
Mm.
It was like cool when it came out, but like you think like 30 years from now anyone's gonna go like, yeah, Apocalypto, how's it going? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's a good adventure action movie. Somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, like cool undertaking. Like it's definitely ambitious of Mel Gibson to give this kind of thing a try. Um, but Mel Gibson's also a fucking crazy asshole. So
So are we putting this in good or don't care? Oh, you got it in
I put it
good.
in good. I think it's a decent watch, but yeah, it's definitely not a like it's not a world beater. It's not a crazy good movie or anything like that. Ooh.
Um, this is this is not my type of movie,
Uh huh.
and you told me to watch it, I believe, and I was just like, actually, like you kind of get like fucking chills from it, like in a way. At least I did.
Um.
Um,
Yeah, the fucking farmers insurance guy, J.K. Simmons, bringing in the fucking acting job of a fucking lifetime. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, yeah, that man was. And to be fair, Miles Teller, like I don't find him to be that good of an actor, but he did very well as well. Um, but just like the drive of a man who's literally just trying to make people do their best, but at the same time just like doesn't give a shit if they want to kill themselves over it is just absolutely fucking crazy.
Something to note here, also two cool things. So, in La La Land, since it's right next to it, Ryan Gosling does every close up piano piece. So, anytime they're showing his hands, he's playing the piano. Whiplash, he's playing the drums. He's always playing the drums. He's a drummer
Hmm.
before he was in the movie. Um, I think just the sure. I almost think J.K. Simmons outshines Miles Teller. His performance is just so wildly, ridiculously un
Hmm.
like. He's just so fucking good. I think the movie. There's some ridiculous portions, like with the car crash and stuff.
Car
It, it,
crash,
it's try-
yep,
it's
I
trying
was
to
gonna
it's
say
a
the same
little bit
thing.
over the top with that, but um, I almost want to tip it over to Masterpiece because I think it is that it's really good. But
Just
there's no it's not perfection. It's just really fucking good. Um,
just that fucking smirk you get out of the guy at the very end of that movie is just like
that
makes
moment
everything.
where he's playing at the end and like it's just like the shots just go from Miles Teller back to him, back, and you just see like J.K. Simmons his fucking the intensity in his fucking eyes just like and the way it is
Hmm.
just like ends like okay that's it.
It just
but
gives you the smirk. Like there's just a tiny little smirk, and it's just like, yeah, you did it, kid.
but he's like I got the best out of you that you wouldn't have been able to get out of yourself. It was good. He does take a total shit on Supergirl though. Supergirl is his girlfriend, and he's just like, yeah, I ain't got time for you. I gotta fuck a drum set with my dick.
Yeah, he does do that.
But and
Um,
she's like super crushing on him. She's super cute. And he's just like, yeah, sorry, I gotta tighten up some screws on my drum kit, bitch. Which ain't nice. That
mm,
ain't nice at all. Okay. Oh, Colin. Okay, you need to start. We need to take
it's
notes.
been on my list for a long time.
This is one um, that I think we should have watched or should watch when I um, am at your house. The unfortunate thing is that obviously you guys are on opposite schedules, so we'd have to like I mean, there's like the smallest of windows that we could do it, but um, Jim Carrey, the man can act actually. Like, and not just be liar, liar, goofy, not just make weird faces, not just be idiotic. And don't look at the number 23. I don't know what his fucking agent was thinking with that. That was just a fucking bad decision. But, and there are some. So this is kind of a. I don't want to know. I don't want to say like high concept or something, but it's a little bit like Interstellar in the fact that they're towing the line between science fiction and fantasy, but I think this works really, really well. I know some people don't like that portion of it, and it's not really pragmatic and all that, but totally knocks it out of the park. I don't want to talk too much about the particulars of it because I want Colin to see it organically, but there are some lines at the end of the movie that are just really good. And I think they do things you don't expect, but it's a very touching way to kind of describe failing relationships, not doing it right all the time, wanting to give up, but then wanting to start again. And it's a surprise and a really good one. And I think that everyone should probably see this movie at some point. It's funny, it's clever, it's interesting. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's one that you need to put on your list because I'm putting it in masterpiece level. And if I think that about that and put it over like Whiplash and La La Land, then you know it's got to be pretty top notch. Yeah. Also, Kate Winslet, who typically is a little bit too, pinky up for me. She makes a lot of high class shit. Not afraid to do nudity though. She's really good too. That's where that ends. But hard recommend for Colin.
All right.
What about Django?
I don't.
I guess okay. So this is where the discussion starts, right? In terms of Quentin Tarantino movies, this one is like in the middle. Right? I don't even know if it's top 5.
I mean, like,
so
it's just.
He's had like what? Okay, so Reservoir Dogs is number 2. Pulp Fiction is number 1. Kill Bill is in there somewhere. Okay, maybe it's like number 4 or 5. I mean, you have Jackie Brown. I don't really understand the like blaxploitation and things like that from the 70s, so I can't really give that a good talking over. Also, I've only seen it once. Kill Bill Volume 1 I think is better than Django. Number 2, absolutely not. Death Proof is a fun movie, not really that good. Inglourious Basterds is probably on the same level as Django Unchained. Hateful Eight is in the next tier, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood I think is kind of it doesn't do it for me. So I think it's one of his decent entries, but not really a great entry. It might just be amazing. Christoph Waltz is good. Fucking Leonardo DiCaprio is fucking. He's another one that might just steal the movie with his performance. But I think the movie itself is just good. I think amazing should have been great. But I would say it's great, not almost perfect or amazing or that next tier. Even though it says amazing, it's really kind of great.
I just think, I mean, like the goriness, the goriness helps with the movie too. Like it's
just officially changed amazing to great.
All right.
And then almost perfect is amazing. That's what it should have been from the beginning. Yeah, I mean it's exciting. It's got some of it's got Quentin Tarantino's dialogue and all that kind of stuff, which of course is his creme de la creme. Um, too much male frontal nudity. That's not really like a real like critique, but it is there. There's a lot of dick in that movie. Any amount of dick is too much dick for me, unfortunately. I don't want to see a penis. I'm not really even sure why women want to see penises. But the movie it's good. It's better than these movies, but it's not as good as these movies. Any other thought? That when he breaks that glass and then continues with the scene, Leo is he's good, pretty good. Did not get an Oscar for that film.
But he did for Revenant.
I've never seen that movie all the way through. I really didn't wasn't vibing with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I fell asleep during that one as well. I think I watched it all the way through.
You're a fucking sleeping fool, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens. This was the only Star Wars in the sequel trilogy I liked.
I 100% agree.
And then was totally let down from there. And I don't know if we know this now, but was like Harrison Ford just like, fuck this, I don't want to do any more of these movies? Or, you know what makes this movie really good? It doesn't have, what's his name with the high-waisted pants with his nipples out. There's no stupid talking across universes. There's no weird like love thing going on between them. There's no force healing. There's no bringing back from the dead. There's no weird animals in it. There might be some. I don't know. There's no characters that appear in the second movie and don't come back for anything more than like a footnote. There's no Luke Skywalker holograms that go invisible. It almost was like so dumb that they did that in the second part of the sequel, because it's just like we could have had Luke Skywalker have like this incredible like, hey, he lives through it, and then maybe he could get killed by something else and it'd be just like legendary for his character. But there instead he's just like, yeah, he's gonna float away into dust. How do you feel about that? I don't know. I just feel like they had such good groundwork and it just went absolute tits up after that. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're... It's like an IP where you could just, like, show lightsabers floating around in the air. Oh, speaking of that, there's no fucking Princess Queen Leia, whatever the fuck she was at that point, Princess Leia, floating through the air back to the spaceship. God, they made some fucking horrible decisions in that shit. But this one was really good. And it's weighed down... Well, I would never put it into amazing, actually, but it's weighed down by how bad all the other movies are. How do you have unlimited money to make a movie and you just do stupid fucking shit? I don't understand it. You have all the best acting talent you could ever ask for. Oscar Isaac is a side fucking character, and you fucking just write a script that I could wipe my ass with. Fuck you. And it's Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson wrote episodes of Breaking Bad, some of the best TV ever made, and we got fucking The Last Jedi. What the fuck? We got nipple pants. That's what we got. Did Rian Johnson sign off on nipple pants? Is this Nipplegate? We need to know.
Dude, if I was... What is that guy's name again? If I was that man
George
and they
Lucas?
gave me that costume, I'd be like, I'm out.
Like, so
I'm
we
out.
we want to see your baby reds. Let's see them nips.
Like, when a Star Wars movie comes out, like all the nerds coming in, you know, like you think, oh my god, they're gonna love this. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever. And when you immediately get a meme like day one of that shit, you know you did something wrong.
Yeah, I think some of the nerds were probably nutting. Oh, I'm nutting. Yeah, but then the movies. Yeah, let's not talk about any more Star Wars stuff.
It's not good.
So I believe, Avengers. I'm not even an Avengers fan. I assume Avengers Assemble is just Avengers. I'm putting it in the amazing category for. I feel like we've kind of talked about it at length at this point. Pretty good acting. The danger is really real. There's stakes. It's very exciting. All that kind of shit. I feel like we talked about it at length. You know, we don't.
Is that? Yeah, that's the first Avengers. But then they didn't put the second one in here, and it's just Endgame.
Which Oh, is that Age of Ultron? You know why? Because that movie sucks. That movie actually sucks. First of all, okay, and I know they got fucking Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch, and they probably love her on that
She
new
is
show.
so attractive.
Um,
I'm just saying.
for all of you out there who are watching, if you watch the American Old Boy, she is naked in it. You're welcome. You do,
Yeah.
do
Isn't
yourself
Old Boy on this list? 'Cause we're gonna have to
the
talk about
original,
that.
the original. But anyway, that has nothing to do with rating this. But her Russian accent is actually fucking atrocious. It like just goes in and out, and it's just stupid. It's just really. But Age of Ultron, the bad guy's fucking stupid. It's just Jarvis going wild or some
Wait,
shit. It's stupid.
so is there 4 Avengers movies then?
3. Civil War is a Captain America movie.
No, I'm saying like in general though. Is there 4?
There's 3. I think it's Avengers, Age of
But
Ultron, and then Endgame.
no, because there's 2 Avengers movies with Thanos. So there has to be 4, because there's the first one where they're fighting the aliens from outer space or whatever, and then there's Ultron.
Infinity War. Yep, there's 4. I forgot about Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
Yeah. I remember Infinity War because that's the one where the dude backed into me while I was backed out of my parking spot and then tried to blame me and got mad at me.
I'm gonna move Endgame up as well. I'm putting it with Avengers. I think Endgame is just as good as the original. Because it's so. First of all, Captain Marvel is like almost on the front of this damn thing, and that's fucking annoying. But so you have this first movie where you're able to like, and I guess who had movies? I guess Iron Man, Captain America, Thor all had movies already before Avengers came out.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
you
made sure that was.
it was just a movie really done right, and through all the films that they were in by Endgame, it really feels like they've really got a hold of the characters right. They got them down to a T. They know how to write them. They know what we want to see. Iron Man going down is great.
So you meant they built up the cast and got everything the way they wanted it to, and then finished it the way they wanted it to?
Right, they did it right.
So not Game of Thrones.
Oh no, not that. I mean,
No.
like Tony, sacrificing himself is great. It did that Lord of the Rings thing where it was like, it's over, it's not over, it's over, it's not over. But
Kirsten's ass cried at the end of this movie.
dude, with the kid, yeah, I'm kind of a pussy when it comes to that. I really, when they try to get you, they get me all the time.
Oh no, just because Iron Man died.
Oh, not specifically Tony. Also, another thing that puts him in the amazing category, Tony Stark. I don't know if he makes the decisions, Robert Downey Jr., but his sunglass game is so on fucking point. It is so good. He knows exactly what he's fucking doing. If it's not him, his costume person or whoever, fucking good stuff. Designer shit that is just like nobody. Like, I feel like Ray-Ban is just like the go-to, and he just got all these things he's taken out of his pocket. It's great.
Can we not knock it down a tier, but can we at least acknowledge Fat Thor in this movie?
Fat Thor? Do you not like Fat Thor?
I don't like Fat Thor. I don't like that one bit.
I think it's got to be above some of these other movies below it. I don't think that Thor can be fat though, because he's a god. I don't know if that's how that works, but I imagine because in Asgard they're probably drinking and eating all the time because it's kind of it's just like the Viking way, I don't think he actually can get fat. There's just kind of a device for funniness. Also, I fucking hate Captain America. He's so fucking annoying. He's the most annoying fucking character in maybe cinema history. I just... Well, no, he's just sitting here and like, I do everything right. And it just does not make for a good character. Good characters have changes of consciousness. They make mistakes. They screw up. They're bad. Sometimes they're good because that's what people are. And that's what people want to see is they want to see change. Tony Stark goes from being a despisable, everyone's going to despise him because he's such an asshole, to sacrificing his life for the world. and you see this drastic change where he doesn't even want to make defense weapons anymore, because even though it makes him millions, because he wants to do right by the world and by himself and by his dad. And then you just got Captain America. That's not what Jesus would do. That's not really what he does, but he's just like, it's just like a fucking broken record. It's so bad. Chris Dick, what is his name? Chris.
Are you talking about Captain America?
Yeah, is his name Chris?
Don't think so.
Oh god. Chris Evans, Jesus.
Chris Evans. Yeah, like I said.
He's just lucky he's good looking. Jeez. I disagree, Michael. What the hell? Colin, are you the leader?
The leader of what?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing I was going to say about the Xbox party. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Dude, I think I saw that in theaters.
I think it came out in 2001, so you would have been like a placenta.
Would have been 7?
You would have been like an ass mark on your mama's fucking toilet paper or something. I don't know. Ang Lee is a fucking cinematic god. Like I don't particularly love Life of Pi as a movie. I think it's pretty good, but the way it's shot, goddamn. The way Hidden Dragon is shot, goddamn. The way he also did Brokeback Mountain, so he's got chops in just like every genre. The jumping on the trees, the fight stylings. This did things. So like, I would there's a Netflix documentary about Hong Kong action films that's really cool. Kung Fu Kicks and something else, but it kind of goes through like the fascinations Americans had with Kung Fu in the 70s, and just like Asian martial arts. And I think Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like, did something absolutely amazing, and it got people kind of back in. Spirited Away is in Have Not Seen, Michael. I don't know. I can't see it, and it just right now. So I just have it right there. But Crouching Hidden Tiger is really good. I think the story is a little bit, but like in terms of just the spectacle, it's very good. Anything to say? Any thoughts?
I don't remember much about that movie just because of how long ago it was. I think they made a second one though.
I don't know about that. If you want to Google that, you may. I don't know what the purpose would be. There's a scene where they're in like this cafe thing where they have this big fight, and it's dope as shit.
Hidden Dragon 2.
Like, we were just watching Mortal Kombat, right? And there was
The Sword of Destiny.
Ew.
2016.
And they had some really weird rigging things, right? Where someone's got a rope and they pull people back. And it looks really unnatural. Hidden Dragon just makes that shit look so fucking cool. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Gotta rank all these. Gotta rank all these at once.
Lord of the Rings, okay, that's going up. That's going up. It's going up. I don't think you can actually rank them individually.
I think The Two Towers is probably the worst of the 3.
I disagree.
Those
I don't
terrible
think
CGI walking trees, just they don't do it for me.
Okay, I'll move the second one down. I think the other two are amazing, though. Am I wrong?
No, you can put them all on amazing.
I mean, but... okay. So here's my thing. I don't think Game of Thrones exists without Lord of the Rings. Is that wrong? It takes fantasy and it like slammed it on the map. Like, I'm trying to think of another movie. I mean, like, even Lord of the Rings probably allowed for like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe shitty ass movies to get made. Like fucking Prince Caspian head ass.
I think they nailed the casting as well, like completely. Like there's not a bad character, I don't think.
Imagine,
Um,
imagine if you were like a part of this, right? Like you were Elijah Wood or Viggo Mortensen or something, Orlando Bloom. I have to imagine being making these movies was like a life changing experience.
yeah,
Like I don't
and
know
it
how
set them up for
long they
life
were in
too.
fucking New Zealand, but it was probably a fuck long time. Maybe not the actors because they could knock that shit out relatively quickly, unless they need
Hmm.
reshoots. But the battle sequences were incredible. Um, yeah, I mean like the written material, like you can't talk about like screenwriting or anything like that because it's essentially handed to you. I was amazed that what's his name, David Hayter of Metal Gear Solid fame. He's Solid Snake. He wrote the screenplay for Watchmen, and outside of literally one part, it's literally word for word from the comic. So I'm always kind of amazed how someone can get away with that. He just literally it's actually two places, but he just slapped and pasted that shit, and it's just like, yep, that's mine, baby. But I don't know. I haven't read the books obviously, but you have to like digest this. You have to same with Game of Thrones. You have to like know that shit upwards and forwards, and you gotta. It's like consuming that shit, and I think that it showed major love for this everything. And just think about the sets they had to make those fucking houses in the fucking ground and shit. Just everything is just so incredibly crazy.
Mm,
The one thing that I think brings down the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the Hobbit trilogy because it was so tired at that point. You should have let
it's
sleeping
not.
dogs lie.
Well, I mean, like they did what 3 hour movies for each one again, and that book is not long.
I think it's the shortest one.
Like, yeah, they wrote that shit out, or they like made it so long just to cash grab it, and that's part of the issue on that one.
Yeah, I think all three of these movies make one cohesive story. Whereas, like, if we're talking about, and Michael said it was the best trilogy ever, I would probably say that might be Godfather, even though the third one's terrible, but the first two are just so good. But they each kind of stand alone on themselves. I don't think that, like, the fellowship where the Fellowship of the Ring ends, it's not even like a complete story, you know. But so kind of taking them and looking at them individually doesn't make a lot of sense. If you wanted to sit there and be like, this one's better than this one is better than this one, you could do that. But I think for these purposes, they're amazing. I'm not quite putting them into masterpiece though. I think that's a little bit much. But anything else to say about anything? I don't think the. Do we think the acting is anything special? I think it's just good. I don't think it's like, you know,
I
like you said though,
mean,
is the right choices in terms of people who are in it.
yeah, I think I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I think the first one is the best of the three. But
Third one has ending issues. Like I said, we're ending it. No, we're not ending it. We're ending it. We're not ending it. And the second one, yes, has CGI trees. The first one, for a long time when I was a kid, I didn't want to see it. I just refused to see it, and then I saw it and I loved it. So I would probably
mhm.
agree with you. All right, Inside Llewyn Davis.